Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SNATM. That is SSNATM Movies, where normally each and every Sunday we sit down and review movies.
These are just movies.
Yeah, I won't call them films. Sometimes we review films. One day we'll review films, but right now we're reviewing videos, movies, things that have been made digitally, and there with moving pictures for our pleasure. I am me. That is Tom down there. And this week, Tom and I have the, I don't want to say honor, not the pleasure, but the duty. It has been thrusted upon us by you schmucks to continue on the Resident Evil franchise. And we are now have gone past the first. We've survived the apocalypse, but now it is the time of extinction. Tom, your initial thoughts on Resident Evil Extinction?
It's better than Apocalypse, but that doesn't say literally fucking anything.
I fell asleep during this movie, and I had to stop. Yeah. And I had to all right, I gotta take an hour break and come back to this. This is the first movie that's done that to me. And throughout everything that we've watched, this movie is just boring. Like, nothing happens. And then when it does happen, it's like, eh. Like, it is so boring to the point when I looked at the trivia, I was bored looking at the trivia. Because there is nothing interesting. There is none of this was fun. The only cool thing that I found was the gentleman who's supposed to be the sniper who dies on the Eiffel Tower in Vegas. That's Johnny Cage. From the original.
Holy shit.
From the original Mortal Kombat. That is him.
I didn't even think about that. And you just saying that, the image pops in and that makes sense. My God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he I guess him and Paul W. Sanderson are like not friends, but they still talk closely. And he got invited on to play that role for the film, which I'll be honest, he was probably the most entertaining character in the film until he dies, which is unfortunate. And other than that, honestly, like they got the rights to the song again that they had in the first Resident Evil, but only like for the first 20 seconds of it, because that's all they play. And besides that, the music is trash. Nothing. Oh my God, dude. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna talk about it, unfortunately. But let's start off with the basics. Resident Evil Extinction, excuse me, was released. Oh no, wait a minute. Did my stuff not update? Oh, Tom, none of my stuff updated. Hold on. Yes, it did. Never mind. Just the title didn't change. Resident Evil Extinction was released in September 21st, 2007. Directed by Russell Mulcahy. So once again, not directed by Paul W. Sanderson. And it shows, again, the man's got an eye. He does have a vision. He has a style that is solely lacking right now in this franchise. It's funny that we talked about the Scorpion King earlier with Colin while we were playing Apex, because this man is responsible for the Scorpion King 2, Rise of a Warrior, the original Highlander movie, all right, starring Christopher Lambert. Oh. So there's connecting more back to Mortal Kombat, a little bit of that. And Teen Wolf, the series that was on MTV. That's what, Other than that, he's done a bunch of stuff in the 80s, which were video shorts for like bands and stuff. Yeah, and he's done a bunch of TV shows work. Music, I don't care I don't care. The editing, I don't care. They're not even, it's just not worth it to even mention. A returning cast that gets slaughtered. And I mean, like, everyone from the second one is pretty much dead or gone. Sienna Guillory is not even in this. She turned down this to reprise her role as Jill Valentine, for her to then instead be in the other flop, or an actual flop of a film, Aragon, that dragon movie that no one liked. The little British girl's not back, and apparently they wrote them off in the story. I don't remember ever hearing them say Jill Valentine died or Jill Valentine's gone. She went, up south. or any like down
Just
south.
no mention at all.
Yeah,
At all.
they're just gone. Like the little girl's gone. I think the closest thing that we get is this one line between a dead fur and Mila Jovovich, where he's like, "You left us after the whatever incident. I think it was train incident or something like that." And then she's like, "I had to be by myself. It was safer that way." And I guess maybe they died on that incident or something. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Who knows?
This whole movie is just, there's no explanation to anything. You're supposed to take everything they tell you at face value.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the very beginning.
Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna get there. We're gonna talk about it, but I got a couple more things we gotta go through. The only new actor that matters in this group is Ali Larter, who plays Claire Redfield, a character who is nothing like the game adaptation, game version of it. It's not an adaptation. She's just Claire Redfield by name alone, and that is it. That's it.
She had red hair.
And red hair. Sorry, yeah, and red hair. Basically, the original story, apparently, small trivia thing that's not even trivia, just kind of information that I found. The original story actually had Claire wanted to go to find her brother Chris, who had last heard was in Alaska. So that was the original push to go to Alaska, which is also, I think, around the same area where like Code Veronica is a part of as well. I think there's like an Alaskan base or something over there. So like there's a couple of things that were tying into that area. Unfortunately, they just decided to scrap it due to no reason, and they just repurposed the Alaska idea as a safe haven for the survivors to go to.
It would have made so much more sense for them to stick with that.
Yeah, right?
Like, let's just go to this place for no reason because I found a notebook.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. If that was Chris Redfield's book or something, that'd be kind of interesting, and they could have tied that in. It'd have been like a lot more happenstance. Like, how did they really find that? I don't give a shit. It's just the fact that he found it. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? Regardless, this movie is just dull. The director wanted to do a stark contrast between Apocalypse and Extinction, where an Apocalypse was all night because they had terrible CGI and they wanted to hide it. Because I was like, no, we're going to do it in daytime and we're going to show our terrible CG. And they did. And it shows. And I wish it was in nighttime. This okay. This had a budget of was it $45 million. The last film made about 127 box office. What do you think this film made, Tom?
I'm gonna say that it's less than Apocalypse because everyone doesn't want to watch something after that piece of shit. But I'm gonna go with 100.
100? Okay. It made $147.7 million. It's still
really
making more money. I don't understand. They upped their budget from like 42 to 45 million, so they got like a $3 million upgrade, and somehow that caused them to have like a 20 million bump in profit. I don't understand why people go see these movies so far. The first one has been the only one that was like, it's good, it's okay.
Yeah, I'd imagine the rest are gonna be even worse, but I don't know. I don't know. Why do we do this to ourselves?
I don't know.
Why?
Honestly,
Why?
this might end up actually being a shorter review because the plot is almost non-existent in this fucking film. So, like, let's just get right into it, all right? Here comes the fucking plot. Resident Evil Extinction. It's been a few years after the incident in Raccoon City, and even though at their best Umbrella tried to destroy the virus, it somehow spread. How? I don't know. They don't explain how. It just spread. And within just a few weeks, all of the United States was taken over by the virus, and then in a few months, the world.
So.
Yeah.
Why does the T virus destroy the world?
Oh, I haven't even gotten there yet. And then within a few years, somehow the T virus has dried up all rivers and killed off the majority of animals or something. Like vegetation, everything just dies. How does a T virus that affects humans do that, or living people? I don't know. How does that? Why isn't the world literally riddled with the Walking Dead from cemeteries? How about that? Remember that stupid thing that happened in the second one? None of that's here. None of that's here. Oh my.
And somehow it turned the world into a fucking desert.
Yeah. According to this fucking movie, there is no water left because they said the ocean's dried up.
Mm-hmm.
So no one should be. Everyone should be dead. Where are they getting their moisture, their water, their H2? Fucking oh, they don't have bubblies in that timeline. I do, and I'm gonna enjoy it. But they don't got that. They don't got that over there. Like, where? Oh my god, whatever. Well, fucking whatever.
I don't know. Have you seen the rest of these movies?
No, I am. After this, I know nothing.
See, I think I've seen one of them and like I don't remember a fucking thing. That I think the next one turned me off these movies completely. If this one didn't, do they continue on this theory that the world is destroyed through the rest of them?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, I think the general idea after this one, at least for the one after this, which I think is Afterlife. I don't know. All I know is after this one, the clone of Alice's and all them, spoiler, her clones, pretty much just like start raiding a umbrella medical facility, like I guess like the head honcho one, to go fight. I don't fucking know, dude. One of them's gonna have nothing but like the idea of 3D in the movie, so we're gonna have a lot of shit flying in our faces. That's gonna be great.
I believe that's the next one. That was back when we were doing our blogs and shit, and I wrote a big article about why 3D is shit after watching that fucking movie.
Oh, for like because we said so, right?
Yeah.
Wow, what a fucking callback. That was a fucking garbage fire of a podcast. It was fun, but my god, that was something.
Anyways.
Yeah. The world has gone to shit. We're not gonna explain right away why Alice isn't with the team. The team is now met up with Ali Larder, a bunch of other people, stereotypical black woman because she's all sassy and girl, man, does a lot of that. We have Johnny Cage in here playing a Texan, which was almost like a borderline Matthew McConaughey kind of attitude, which I was fucking with it. I get it. That's good. I was fine. Yep. They are going from post to post, trying to find fuel, resources, whatever they can, as they're trying to find a way out of this apocalypse. Heads up, not gonna happen. Alice, played by Mila Jovovich, obviously once again, finds a distress signal to a radio station where she goes there, and she is greeted instead of being greeted with open arms, she's greeted with a woman being like, my baby, and then she grabs the baby, and it's a fake one, and she drops it, and then the lady's response is, you dropped my baby, you bitch. and I'm like, okay, hold on. Okay, is this gonna be this kind of movie? I don't know. We'll see. And she gets captured by these people because their guns pointed at her. It almost has like a very Resident Evil Sam Raimi vibe with the camera angle and all the guns just coming out and pointing at him at once. Unfortunately, it's not that kind of film. She then instead is almost threatened with rape by this one dude. And what ends up
just threatened?
Well, they try, right? They try they slap her in the face, and then she kicks a dude when he opens up like her legs, like not revealing anything, just opening up her legs, getting ready to, I guess, thrust through the denim. And she kicks him so hard in the chin that it somehow breaks his neck, and he dies on the floor. And I don't understand that. And then the lady who called her a bitch before, she's like, oh my god, you killed Jimmy, you bitch! And then she gets knocked out and gets thrown into the Sarlacc pit, right? But the Sarlacc pit in this is just a bunch of dogs. Once again, I guess, obligatory, we have to have this reference because it's in the games of the zombie dogs. How is it never not zombie Rottweilers? I have no clue. It is always Rottweilers. Where are the Huskies? Where are the German Shepherds? Where's I want to see a giant fucking Saint Bernard zombie dog. Where's that guy?
That would be fucking terrifying. Holy shit! Could you imagine? That'd be way worse.
Yeah, like a dog that can actually take you down just with its sheer mass. Huh?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
But then you get like then you get the zombie golden retriever who just wants to kind of hang out with you
Yeah.
still, and it probably wouldn't work out well there.
Like, we're the zombie cats, and let me see them zombie pussies. You know what I mean? Like, just give me something. But anyway,
You go watch Army of the Dead for that one.
God damn it. So Mila Jovovich is now trying to fight around this broken down area where she punches one in the face. I don't know why I said it that way, but I did. Punched one right in the face, breaks its neck, has one between her legs and cracks its head, I guess, or its neck as well. More chasing them. And on the top, all you hear is that one lady's like, "You're gonna die, you bitch." This is like the one line I think that they let her like ad-lib. And she's like, "Oh my god, they loved it. I'm just gonna continue saying it. I'm never gonna stop." God.
Third time around, please, ma'am, you gotta lay off on the bitch. Come up with something else. No, that's the only one I got.
Yeah, it really feels like my character thinks that this character is a bitch, and I really need to showcase that. People need to know how I feel. Anyways, Alice is then like wrapping up a bunch of the dogs with like, I don't know, random hanging rubber tubes. I think one of them.
I think it's just wires.
Yeah, I guess one of them. Yeah, they're supposed to be wires. She then like ties like three or four of them up, and then puts them on, wraps them around a giant steel support beam. Okay, and I don't care how broken down this place is, and it's 4 dogs. Not even 4 humans would be able to pull this fucking support beam that is bolted from the ground into the broken ceiling, but still bolted down. No one should be able to rip this out. But apparently the Rotties that are literally having rotting flesh and missing muscle mass on them are able to tug them so hard that they pull that down. It makes a perfect staircase for Alice to run up on. And then the lady's like, "She's running away, you bitch!" And then what happens after that? All the Rotties just come up and eat the people, and Alice just walks away unscathed, gets her knives and guns back. That's all she wanted. And as she leaves, we are then hit heavily with, it might have been even before she got into the radio station, doesn't matter. We get hit heavily, Tom, with a BMW advertisement, because that key goes into that fucking motorcycle when she starts it, and the fucking logo is just perfectly focused and in frame to make sure you could see that what survives the apocalypse, a BMW motorcycle. That's what. Oh my god.
That's the extra $5 million.
Right,
that's where they got that.
That's where that's where the advertisement budget came from. Oh my god. So she takes off. We then get greeted back up with Team Mummy / Final Destination Girl / a couple other people, where they go to a gas station, try to figure out if it's tapped or not. While they're in there, Mike Epps gets attacked by a sheriff zombie, who he quickly disposes of after shooting him a couple times in the chest and then in the kneecap, which to bring him down to crack his neck. I'm like, all right, Mike Epps, you're a smart man. You figured out a way to destroy them. Not realizing that there's a female zombie with a titty hanging out behind him. She jumps.
I love the gratuitous titty. Why the gratuitous titty?
I don't know, dude.
It has to fucking be there.
Yeah, they have to make sure that it's a rated R film, all right? It has to be rated R. So he gets attacked, and then she starts gnawing on his chest or something. But then Oded Oliveira, Carlos, I think his first name is. And then we find out his name is actually Carlos. So like, finally I can stop butchering that man's last name. Carlos shows up and shoots him in the head, and that's the end of him. And end of her. They're like, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, everything's fine. Let's get out of here." They get up. Mike Epps reveals his shoulder, his chest, and he has a bite there. Doesn't tell anyone. Nothing. Now,
this far into the fucking zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, won't say
and
anything.
You won't do the thing you need to fucking do.
Yeah. And it is this moment that I'm like, okay, are we going, which film logic are we going here? Are we going with like Resident Evil 1 logic, where usually it takes at least an hour or two before you turn? Or are we going by a Resident Evil Apocalypse logic, where it could be 3 hours, could be half a day, it could be right now? We don't know. Spoiler alert, we go with more of the apocalypse route of turning into zombies in this one. Because Mike Epps says nothing, shows no symptoms, anything, for like a day and a half, for Christ's sake. He gets patched up by a paramedic lady, who is the token black lady in the film. all sassy and cute and ooh, other black person, we're gonna have sex because we're black together. And I'm like, guys, you can be diverse. Like, you don't.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh wait, this is 2007. I forgot. That's just the pigeonhole of the film franchise at that time. I'm like, all right.
I like how she just wears an LMG gun or
Like a belt of bullets.
bullet belt for no fucking reason.
Yep.
Doesn't have an LMG, never takes it off.
Yeah.
What is the fucking point?
Oh, dude, the best part is how she patches him up at the when she goes to him, and all she does is she just takes an alcohol swab and just or a gauze and just pats the one wound on his forehead, and then just like, oh, good, and walks away. And I'm like, if you're the paramedic of this group, you need to be fired, man. That you did jack shit for this dude. What the
She
fuck?
has no paramedic training.
Yeah.
She just carries the fucking first aid kit around. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Alcohol swabs. This will cover everything.
Yeah, this fixes all wounds. Oh man. So later that night, we're introduced to Claire Redfield, how she's like the leader of this convoy, and they're trying to find again resources and stuff. Unfortunately, the gas station's tapped. They barely have any food left. They have the dude who delivers the food, who drives the bus. He was another character that I really, really enjoyed. But it's because I really enjoy that actor. For people who don't know him, I'm trying to remember the movie. He's in a movie, the fake college movie with Justin Long and
Accepted?
Accepted. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, he is the rocker who he's the pizza delivery dude.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember this gentleman's name. He's an actor that I think he actually has his own band as well. Joe Hursley. This dude is just a fun dude. Every time I see him and stuff, I always enjoy his presence. He's just, I don't know, he's one of those actors that I just click with, I guess. I really like him. I really, really like him. And he was playing like the lovable, like, I take care of the kids, I'm like the chef cook kind of guy. And it's like,
I like his cooking.
Yeah, right. And like I like the idea of like how if some reason like it's just this added character depth for this dude that they don't do for anyone else except for like Texan guy Johnny Cage, you know what I mean? But he's like he's a cool dude, he's chill, he has fun interactions, like he's like shaking the cans to figure out what the food is, like this is like peaches, this is cream of mushroom soup and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, I really like this dude. This guy is a relatable character in this zombie apocalypse. I want more of him. I would love to see him in the future. He's super cool. Don't ruin this for me, Resident Evil. Don't. All right. So pretty much they all go back to bed. They all go to bed. They got an Australian dude. They have, like I said, Joe Hursley, a bunch of these other characters. And they all go to bed at night because there's nothing left to do. And when they wake up, we have to have the obligatory video game reference yet again. This one being killer crows in the desert. Why are there crows in the desert? I do not know. They explain that they have turned evil because of the rotted flesh that they've eaten from corpses. As far as I could tell, that was never referenced. No one's ever said that. But whoever actually supports this garbage movie will say, "Oh well, they said before that the T virus can mutate and change to different things," and it's like I don't fucking care.
But isn't it basically fucking airborne? So wouldn't these fucking birds have it anyway?
Yeah, you're right.
Stupid.
Right.
Stupid.
So I did cut out a part here that I'm gonna have to bring back. During the nighttime scene, we find out that the Umbrella Corporation is trying to pretty much recreate Alice, and they have her genetic genome to be able to clone her over and over and over again. And these Alices that they have, they keep running them through a cycle of like what they think is the core elements of what makes Alice Alice. So there's like a scene I think it's actually at the beginning of the film that I skipped out. At the beginning of the film where Alice wakes up and she's in the mansion again, and you think, oh, maybe it's just I don't know, maybe like flashbacks or something or whatever. But no, straight up fun fact, that is all actual recycled footage. That whole scene is just straight from the first film. And you can tell the moment that it changes is when they go to the next hallway and it's now the laser room. And you see Alice and you see her face. You can tell, oh, that is a much older Mila Jovovich. Like, you're not even trying to hide it. But they
I
go from.
didn't notice that.
I did, and I hated it.
They do a lot of weird effects with Mia in this movie.
Yeah, they do. They do. So
Like, why is every fucking close up of her? Why is her whole face airbrushed? And then it pans out in another picture, and then you see the shine of everything from the environment on her face. Like, why do they do that? It makes no sense to me.
So here's a fun fact: directors or producers, when they focus on their main talents, they want, especially back then, especially for women, they wanted them to look like as if they were perfect. There could not be any imperfections. And so what they would do is when they would zoom in, any sweat, dirt, wrinkle, all that stuff gets removed to make them look pristine. And then in the hopes of when it's zoomed out and it's just a normal shot, you don't see really those imperfections. But we live in the day of HD to ultra high definition televisions where we could see it all now. So it's they can't hide it, and it's an unfortunate thing that even to this day some studios still do. But regardless, this Alice goes through the mansion, goes through the laser room, finds a way out, lands themselves in the hospital, and then gets taken out by a surprise turret that pops up from the ground and kills her. That's when you find out that they just constantly are trying to breed another Alice, because Alice's blood has the potential to be the antidote towards the T virus. I don't know if you guys, for people who don't remember, in the second one, she got infected with the T virus, but she never actually mutated. It more or less evolved in her, so that's why they think she holds the cure. Project Alice, who this is her, they believe that she is the answer to all of this. So they want to capture her, kill her, and then use her blood for whatever they think, if these clones don't work. At the same time, Dr. Bad Guy, Mr. Ian Glenn, I think is his actual name. He's producing a serum, a mixture of the T virus and the antidote put together, to see if he can control zombies, domesticate them. And it's at this boardroom table that you actually end up by meeting Wesker and a bunch of other people, where they're like, oh, if you can't figure this out in the next little, we're shutting you down, and we're going to give this other British guy the power. Haha, why? Because he's British too. So he must be a villain or something. And you do see the experiments that the guy does, where it's like he's injecting the zombie in the back of the neck, and like his cognitive abilities, they come back, sort of. And this is kind of a weird ode to Day of the Dead, the original Day of the Dead, where in that film they had a scientist trying to domesticate a zombie, to the point where the zombie in Day of the Dead, a much superior zombie film made in the 70s, and I highly recommend you should watch it, where the zombie's able to like pick up a book, recognize it, like play stuff. He knows he can pick up a gun. He knows how to shoot it. Obviously, the gun's all loaded in the scene and stuff, and he even salutes soldiers. And it's to show like these zombies are not just brain dead monsters. We can rehabilitate them and have them use them for basic functions. In this film, they do that with the serum. The zombie, which doesn't even look like a zombie, it just looks like a mutated goblin, is able to use the little, like my kid's little toy box thing. Can take a picture, can use a cell phone, but then when he fucks up with the one thing and he gets real mad, he gets up and he breaks the plastic braces that are holding him in place. And I'm like, wouldn't this guy be like tied to the neck, chained up on the chest? Like, it's a fucking zombie. A zombie that you've already admitted that is not like super strong and violent. It can be violent. This guy should be tied, should be nailed to that fucking chair. Whatever.
There's a lot of trust there.
Yeah. Fucking zombie.
If this...
Sorry, go for
if
it.
the cube thing didn't succeed, they would have done a trust fall after that, just to make sure.
God. Like, the zombie gets up, bites the dude. Ian Glenn gets out of the room, closes the door, and lets the other guy die. Why? I don't. Because he's evil. No, you know, let's forget the idea that you're running out of fucking scientists and people to help you. No, let's just kill them all now. It's whatever. So anyways, as the one Alice I was talking about dies and stuff, real Alice has like nightmares of them and visions of them coming to life and dying, and it somehow activates her psychic abilities that we found out in the second one that she has now, and lifts up her BMW bike and then smashes it to the ground. Now it's broken. Ah, shucks. I guess she's out of luck.
And there goes the BMW advertisement. Right. They're no longer good for jumps. Just for surviving the apocalypse.
Sandy ass fucking apocalypse where it would probably destroy everything in that exposed motor. It would just gunk it up with dust, whatever. The team Claire wakes up after that night of eating canned whatevers, and we are treated with some of the worst CG I have seen in a while, where it's all crows surrounding them. They have been infected because they've eaten the rotten flesh of the zombies. And apparently, I guess it was a fact for them to brag about. They only used actually in that scene 2 real crows. The rest of them are CGI. Yeah, no shit.
We know.
Yeah,
we fucking know.
We can fucking tell. God damn it. But anyways, one of them makes they're like, just be quiet, don't move, everything's gonna be fine. And then someone drops a can in the bus, which then activates the feral abilities of the crows, and they just start pecking and breaking shit left and right. And as unfortunately at the scene where we say goodbye to quite a few different people, one of them being oh my god, fucking Joe Ursley, can guy. He gets knocked out. Worthless medic gets knocked out. A bunch of people, someone who just jumps on a fire. Apparently they had a fucking flamethrower turret on top of their bus. Sure. No, we got to reserve our fuel and resources and stuff. We shouldn't, waste anything. Motherfucking fire turret, whatever.
Well, where else are you going to burn napalm in? You can't put that in the bus.
God. So they're running around, they're freaking out, they don't know what to do. And the dude on the bus dies with the flamethrower, and it somehow stays on even after he's dead. It swings down and it's about to kill Carlos as he's saving a little kid. And magically at that moment, Alice shows up, creates a force field around him, and then somehow keeps the fire alive and spreads it to the sky to kill all the crows. Like, not even the sense of like she took the fire that was there and then like swooshed it around to kill things. She somehow multiplied the amount of fire that was there to cover the entire fucking sky and kill all the birds. And I'm whatever. And she drops on the floor because she has a headache now.
Women, right?
Not tonight, sweetie. I can't kill any more crows. I have a headache. Jesus Christ, man. So it continues on where we find out that she had left them a little while ago because of an incident that happened, and she thought it was safer for her to be away from them. And apparently, what time is it? Oh, it's 12:15. Well, that's the time that the satellite can find a picture of you. I might as well look at the sky, look real high up to make sure they get a good visual of my face. Jesus Christ.
I never understood that one.
Yeah.
They're looking for me. Let's make sure they really get a good look.
Right?
What the fuck?
Yeah, so obviously the satellite spots them, and then Dr. Ian Glenn tries to convince Wesker, who was never a part of the Raccoon City Police Department or anything like that. He's just the chairman of of Umbrella. Chairman Wesker won't allow Ian Glenn to send out a team to go find her because it's not a 100% match for identity. It's only 62%. But Ian Glenn actually makes a lot of sense where it's like, we might lose this chance to get her. If we don't strike now, who knows where she'll end up. And the dude's like, it has to be absolute 100%. You have a satellite in the sky that could take blurry pictures of people down below. You will never get 100%, you idiot. That's not how it works. This isn't...
And just like Ian Glenn says there, she's with known associates. No. It's not worth the risk. What? How?
Yeah, it's so disappointing. So, but somehow Ian Glenn was recording that conversation, and with voice manipulation technology, he creates a voice recording of Wesker saying that Dr. Ian Glenn has the access to go ahead and go get Project Alice. Sure, whatever. And the way he's going to do that is he's going to grab all the vicious zombies he's created with the T-virus antidote mix and send them out. Well, it's at that time also where Alice and the group try to figure out where they can go. Alice references this book that she found and these transmissions that she keeps hearing from Alaska, saying that it is a safe haven, that the infection hasn't spread there. Even though at the beginning of the fucking movie, they literally say the virus has spread everywhere around the world, except Alaska. Fuck you. So they need to go there, but they need gas. They've tried all the small town gas stations. They're all dry. Alice says, we got to go to Vegas. That's our only bet. That's our only choice. That's where it's going to be. And they're like, no, we can't, because that's going to be filled with zombies. It's a death trap. We could never do that. We have to anyways. Okay, so they're going to go to Vegas. That's what the group decides to vote on with the remaining survivors. We're going to go there. Okay. Don't forget, Mike Epps is still infected. It's been about 4 weeks now, and he's still infected. He hasn't changed.
4 weeks?
Yeah, and he's still okay. He's got a little bit of the sweats, and that's about it. But he hasn't turned yet. Maybe take a look at that dude's DNA. There's something going on with that man is able to see what's going on.
Yeah, he resists it well.
Yeah, right.
The people that resist it, not the people that have it.
So they decide to go to Vegas and tread lightly to make sure they can get gas and not get caught up with all the zombies that are there. Hey, guess what? When they get there, there's no fucking zombies at all. It's just desert because the desert took it back. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, Mila. It's not. You can't. It's not how it works. It's just not how it works.
Well, they said the crows picked the fucking bodies clean.
So shouldn't there be thousands and thousands or millions of crows there then?
You'd think. No, she just killed all of the crows in fucking Nevada with that fireball. That makes sense.
God. So yeah,
will there not be zombies in any of the buildings? The crows can't get everywhere.
Exactly. And shouldn't there be bodies, literally skeletons, laying about everywhere? Then, if that's the case,
yeah.
Like, what? Yeah. Instead, they're looking around, and then they find themselves a shipping container, in the middle of the city, near like the Eiffel Tower and stuff. And you're like, oh well, we better go investigate that. Why? Don't. Just don't. Just leave it alone. Go get your gas and get the fuck out of here. That is clearly something pretty suspicious. A random shipping container in the middle of a deserted city. Maybe don't fuck with it. Maybe just ignore it and go away. No, they decided to get...
Justin.
Yeah?
Maybe it's full of jerry cans full of gas.
Yeah, maybe.
That would make sense.
The fumes in that fucking shipping container, if that was the case. Oh my god, you'd open that up and you'd get an immediate, like, unfortunate high. God. But it doesn't matter. They all get closer to it, and then Amila's like, no, stop. Let me do it. She gets closer, puts her ear against it, and then she's like, everybody run! Why? Container opens up, and it is nothing but those super roided out zombies, which, to be honest, Dr. Ian Glenn maybe had like, I don't know, a half a dozen. Nah, and this container alone that can maybe fit 100 of them, there's 3,000 of them. Somehow, this fucking container never stops supplying zombies. It just makes no fucking sense what's happening right now. It just doesn't. So everyone's not running. You have Johnny Cage, Texan Johnny Cage is sitting on top with what I thought was a sniper. Turns out, no, it's an automatic gun. He just has a scope, and somehow that makes him a sniper, so he sits high up. Whatever. And they're all snipping, snapping, trying to get shooting people around. Mila Jovovich, instead of being like, oh, we need to sever the neck, break the neck, or shoot him in the head. No, what does she decide to do? She whips out her two little those weird-ass swords that I don't understand how they're curved. I'm guessing they're made for decapitation.
It's a kukri, I believe they call it.
Yeah. Which the only reason she has those is because her stunt coordinator thought it'd be fun for Alice to have that in the next film. So she has them now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. And Alice is just jumping around, doing those crazy kicks and stuff, slashing the zombies in the gut and throat, but like just slitting their throat, not cutting the spine. And somehow these zombies are dying. They're just dropping dead. Gunshots are stopping them in the chest. Nothing in the head except for Claire. Claire is the only person in this fucking situation, which, hey, heads up, don't forget, Claire Redfield's in this movie. She's the only one who is just hitting the perfect headshots on every single fucking zombie. All of them. They're all getting headshotted. It's insane. Fucking zombies are going... Except for the one time. Except for the one time. These zombies are going around. They're all fucking picking people up. They're just destroying them left and right. The remaining of the survivors are all getting eaten up. And Alice is fighting them all. She's doing a real good job. And then from a tent area, they're like, shut her down. And then the satellite because I guess they have sight on her, they have visual on her. They're able to shut her down like a fucking computer, and she stands perfectly still. And you'd think at this point, all the zombies that were around her would then turn around and eat the person who's not moving. No, they just let her stand there for the next 10 minutes. They're gonna eat everyone else. Where the Australian dude who's in the car jumps out because zombies are going after him, and Claire, boom headshot, boom headshot, boom headshot to those zombies. She's like, get over here where it's safe. What does he decide to do? Nah, I'm gonna try to sneak underneath the car that's full of zombies. So what do you think happens? Motherfucker gets dragged out and gets eaten alive. And it's at this point where instead of Claire getting headshot, she starts screaming, no! And just starts blasting them in the fucking chest and the shoulder and the arm. And I'm like, what? Where was the dead shot headshot lady we just finished seeing? The motherfucker
not to mention they were killing them by shooting them in the chest earlier. Why didn't it work here? Is it because they're feeding? No, they just brush it off.
Yeah,
it makes no fucking sense.
No fucking sense.
What?
Yeah. Also in this skirmish, a woman that was introduced to Alice as the name of Kmart, sure, whatever. Look at this young kid, and Mike Epps run into one of the cars to hide themselves there and make sure that nothing happens to them. Carlos jumps underneath the car. Unfortunately, at this time, he starts getting attacked by zombies, and he's trying to fetch his gun. He shoots them out. It's no problem. He lays down, and then there's a spook factor because a zombie shows up right in front of him and screams. Fucking Mike Epps and Kmart, I hate that fucking name, are getting attacked inside their car. Kmart finds a shotgun and somehow makes a perfect oval hole in a zombie's head. Like, as far as I know, a shotgun, even from the moment it leaves the fucking gun, it spreads. Am I wrong on this, Tom?
No, you're right. But at the range she was shooting at, it wouldn't have spread that far. It might have actually done that.
You might have. All right.
Possibly.
You're the gun guy, so I'm trusting on this.
Possibly. I haven't shot anyone in the fucking head.
Yeah. Next time you go hunting and you meet face to face with a grizzly, just take out your small pump shotgun and go bang and tell me what happens, okay?
Fuck, it didn't work. Fuck.
He's really mad, guys. He's really mad. Oh my god. And again, somehow while being shut down, Alice is fighting the programming, even though it's like a robotic thing. And she can sense the satellite in the air that's shutting her down in space. And she can fry the chip that's on there. It's just whatever.
Well, she could almost sense when the satellite looks at her, for fuck's sakes, before. Mm-hmm. So I guess. Yeah.
Oh my.
Next movie, she's going to shoot it out of the sky whenever she feels like it.
Right. She just look at it and wink and it'll come crashing down.
It just starts bleeding, even though there's no blood.
So they continue fighting and stuff. Alice wakes up and starts, again, instead of killing the zombies, it's just slitting their throats and gutting them. And it's killing them. And I don't understand why. But it that's what's happening. Carlos goes to the car where Mike Epps and Kmart are at. Because now, finally, after about 3 years being infected, Mike Epps is now officially turned into a zombie. It has happened. It is. Oh no, it's so sad. Oh, Carlos just rips him out, and then he gets bit in the arm, and then Carlos shoots Mike Epps in the head, and that is the end of LJ. Another Apocalypse character gone and forgotten at this point because there's like no mourning for this man.
This must be a studio plan.
Yeah, it must.
Let's get rid of the recurring ones. That way we don't have to pay them more for the next one.
That's what it feels
and we'll bring in a whole new crew the second time.
Yeah, it's really what it feels like. So all that happens, and then when they get a signal back on the camera vision for Alice, Dr. Ian Glenn and the bad guys figure out, oh no, she's going up the stairs. Oh no, she found where we were perfectly parked, not 2 meters away from them. Oh no, we need to leave. Like, you don't have to be out in the field to do this because you captured the footage of her from outer space. You could be in your home base and do this. There is literally no reason for you to be here except for plot purposes. That is it. Because she walks in, she sees them, blasts them all in the tent. Somehow not a single fucking person can shoot her, even though they have automatics. All she has is handguns. Blasts them all except for fucking Ian, who makes his way to the helicopter. Just before he gets on, he gets bit by someone, and he's like, "We have to take me to the laboratory. I need my medicine. I need my num-nums. I need my Flintstone vitamins, please. Let's get out of here." They're flying away. Fucking Alice is eyeing them up, and Kmart's like, "Why didn't you shoot them down?" And she's like, "Because that's our ticket to Alaska." And I'm gonna pause on that. I'm gonna get back to that one in a bit. We all find out that unfortunately Carlos is bit, so there's not much time left for him, even though Mike Epps survived a good decade while being infected. But, whatever. Somehow the Umbrella Corps dude is going to die within hours. Even though in the previous film, when he was bit, he survived for 3 hours, I think, they said, before he started showing real symptoms. Okay?
Yeah.
But in this one, it is like 10 minutes, the dude's sweating, he's turning gray like he's about to go out.
Maybe if you get bit in the arm, it's worse than getting bit in the chest.
Close to the pumping arteries and stuff where the heart is.
What?
Yeah, dude.
And wouldn't his antidote have fucking worked from the last movie anyway? Wouldn't he still be somewhat like immune at this point?
Yeah, like maybe he could survive a bit longer. You know what I mean? Like he'll still get got, but he could survive 50 years before turning.
And he wasn't bit by one of the super ones, so he doesn't need like the super antidote.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because if I'm not mistaken, Ian Glenn gets bit by one of the super infected.
Yeah, and the regular antidote doesn't work.
Yeah, so that's when you find out when they're like, "We're gonna take that helicopter, we're gonna follow it, and it's gonna lead us to wherever they are, and then we'll take it to go to Alaska." Carlos is infected. Unfortunately, they don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna figure something out. They follow the helicopter all the way to the base. They see that it's gated by just a normal fence. A normal chain-linked fence, which we have seen in previous films not withhold the attack of a zombie, but somehow these rusted-ass chains, it's keeping away these zombies. Sure, why not? And they're like, "How are we gonna get through?" And Carlos is like, "I got an idea. I'm gonna tip over this empty fuel truck that we have here with a box of TNT, and I'm gonna blow it all to hell." They're like, "Oh, that's crazy. Like, it sucks because you're infected and you think there's no hope." Even though they could probably get the antidote that's inside of this fucking place. No, let's not take that risk. I'll just kill myself. My contract's up and they don't want to renegotiate to give me more money. This is my out, Alice. And they're like, "Okay, sure." While they're planning that out, down in the basement of basically another hive. When you look at the map design, when they do the whole schematic drop thing in the computer, it's another hive. And that's
and they use that every time we pass to the hive. You see this stupid 3D fucking layout.
And I wasn't going to introduce this character at all, but I'm going to do it now. They have the White Queen versus the Raccoon City one, which was the Red Queen, and they didn't even mention her as the White Queen. That's her name. If you find the lore of this film, you figure that's what her name is. And instead of doing the terrible CGI, they just made a little girl look like glow white. That's it. That's all they did. That's all this fucking film is. And that's the budget.
Looked better than that fucking CG did, though.
It did, but at the same time, I don't want to see a hologram computer being able to emote. I hate that. I hate it. Doesn't matter. Good point. They're there. They talked about a couple things, whatever, about like a potential cure, blah blah blah. Anyways, I'm just mentioning this for something that's gonna happen later. But at this time, evil British dude who was gonna replace Ian Glenn if Ian Glenn couldn't do his shit, couldn't get his shit done right, enters the room where Ian Glenn's being arrested. He's under house arrest, and when he enters there, he sees that Ian Glenn's not well because he got bit, and he's taken what looks like fucking like half a dozen of the mixture of the antidote and T-virus, or just the antidote. I don't know what exactly happened there. I'm gonna say it's just the antidote. I'm assuming he just tried to take the antidote a bunch, like over and over and over again. And it's at that time where he talks to the evil British dude, and it's like, I was bit by one of the super soldiers, the super zombies, which means the infection's worse, which means that I have to take more of the antidote because of the potential risk of the mutagen being stronger from their bite. And British dude's like, well, by order of Chairman Wesker, order code 1345. I'm like, why did you skip 2? Why does that make you sound smarter because you skipped 2? Well, you literally just had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, what is wrong? Whatever. We are here to excommunicate your blah 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 blah. You no longer have privileges at the Intercontinental. You can no longer fucking drink over here. And if you step foot here, fucking Ian McShane over there is gonna fucking bitch you up. And he's like, what? Just fucking die already. And he shoots the dude.
Now I need a John Wick Resident Evil mashup movie.
Oh my god, where he just kills
Alice. I mean, that's who Mia's supposed to be in this movie, is John Wick, basically.
I mean, she's pretty. Now, you know what? To go to the next one, she's fucking Neo. She's straight up Neo in this fucking film.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the evil British dude kills or shoots Dr. Ian Glenn when he gets back up, and then he has little 3 tentacle finger things, and he stabs him in the eyes and the mouth, and he kills everyone else with a terrible CGI. And we are introduced finally to the Tyrant. That's
what it was.
This is their version of Resident Evil 1's Tyrant, where it was supposed to be the slow-moving giant brute of a man who has kind of like the same 3-finger thing, like the claw fingers. And inside of the game, it kills Wesker, and then goes on a rampage towards either Chris or Jill Valentine, depending who you play in the game. And its main weakness is this giant throbbing infection thing on its chest. Hey, heads up, guess what? In this film, it's there, but it doesn't do anything. It is not a weak point at all. They're just, the writers, Paul Thomas Anderson, clearly didn't play enough of the video game to understand that's what that was. Whatever.
And that's like a common occurrence with the rest of these movies going on. They just chuck shit from the games in with no regard for story or anything.
Yeah, to make sure if it matches.
Literally exactly from the game. But it doesn't work.
Will just wrote something that I love it. It's like, people keep asking me if I'm infected. Well, yeah, I guess I'm infected. I like it. And it goes to the point where we have to go to a word from our sponsors. All right, this episode of SNATM is brought to you in part by, well, most all of it all by us, the members of the Select Start Network. More specifically, patreon.com/Select Network. We're at a simple $6 USD or $8 Canadian. You can watch this live, uncut. You can get the ad-free versions over at patreon.com/Select Start Network. For only that, you also get $10 discount at the merch store, and so much more. And if you want to support us that way, that is greatly appreciated. We have a bunch of different tiers that you can go ahead and take a look at. If you cannot go ahead and support us monetarily, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, monetarily. You can go ahead and just go to twitch.tv/SSNplays and subscribe with a free with your free Prime Twitch account subscription. If you don't even have that, I totally understand. Shit's tight right now. You can go ahead and just simply like, share, subscribe, and support us on social medias at officially SSN, or on YouTube, where it's youtube.com/LiveSelectStart, where so many of our fun little patrons are watching this right now, like Tom, obviously, who's here with me, Will, Andrew, Lep, Alex, and so many others have access to that. You can go ahead and be a part of that crew as well by going to patreon.com/SelectStartNetwork. Thank you for being a sponsor. We love you. You guys are the best schmucks in the world. And back to the show. There's my SNATM. That's what I was looking for. Boom, time frame there. Put in. Awesome. All right. Now, it is at this time where after fucking T. Glenn, all right, is out there. T-Ian. His name's Tian now. Yeah. Tian is out there wrecking havoc in the hive. Mila Jovovich and the crew are now saying goodbye to Carlos as he jumps into his fucking giant transport and his giant gas truck and starts plowing through zombies. Now, he's plowing through the zombies, and I'm like, all right, so he'll like break through the fence with the truck and maybe just throw dynamite behind him to blow up the zombies or something, or he'll figure something out where he doesn't have to die. No, what he does end up by doing is fucking driving the goddamn truck about halfway through the zombies, and then
not even halfway.
And he's like, you know what, this is far enough. Tilts it, lets it slide onto the dirt, onto the sand, and like stops again, not even halfway through, where they're still not close enough to reach the fucking fence. And he's like, all right, this is my time to go. Here's my lighter. I'm about to fucking start this dynamite. Oh shit, there's a joint there. Grabs the joint, and of course it's Mike Epps because he's black, and that's who has the fucking joint. And he's like, oh, you sneaky motherfucker, one last hit for the road. Fucking Carlos lights it up, takes his puff, starts the dynamite, starts to ignite the dynamite while the zombies come rushing in. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, look, I have never smoked marijuana before in my life. I've enjoyed edibles when I need to sleep or calm down and stuff, but I've never smoked marijuana before. But I'm going to assume that just smoking a joint doesn't give you an instant high. You're not automatically triggered, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I will take your word for it.
I don't think that was a joint though. I think it was just a hand-rolled cigarette.
I think that was supposed to be a joint because he's like, "Oh, LJ, you sneaky motherfucker." Because when they asked if they had the other kind of cigarettes, Mike's like, "Nah, man, I'm out of that too."
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
So you're probably right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because he's black.
It looked like a good joint though.
I mean, it's a very well wrapped joint.
It
yes.
looked good.
Yeah.
It made me want one.
So he lights it up with the dynamite, and then we get one of the worst zoom outs because it's CGI'd, and they tried to make where he was the same kind of dark lit area as the outside world when you zoom out. And you could see like the green screen shaking as the camera pans out because obviously he doesn't belong there, and the lighting doesn't match everything. I hated that scene with the I just hated it. That's all I could say is I hated it. Regardless, shit's blown up. It makes a giant explosion. Still not near the fence though, but don't worry. Claire and the rest are gonna drive through the fence now, and somehow that made a clear path for them away from the zombies. They all get out, they all get into the helicopter, and except for Alice. Alice is like, no, I need to stay here. Why? Honestly, there's no real reason. Like, they could just literally, she could leave with them right now, roll the credits, and she'd be fine. Like, that freak would be stuck downstairs because the White Queen would make sure that it wouldn't go anywhere, and eventually it would just starve and die. That's just what would happen.
It's like, I think they talked about it earlier in the movie, like between Mia and Alice and Carlos.
Okay.
He said, when you get down there, do it for me or something like that. So maybe she just had to go down there to destroy these people and stop this shit from happening.
Sure. You know what? Sacrificial lamb type of style, whatever. I'll take it. I don't care. It is what it is. She gets in there. No zombies are coming in, by the way. They're respecting the rules of, hey, the door's open, but we're not supposed to go in, so no zombies are going in. It is at that time that they get the helicopter, and they're like, take this helicopter and go straight to Alaska. And I sit there, and I think to myself, I'm sorry, what now? You're going to take this small helicopter that probably has just enough fuel to maybe fly around for 3 hours at most, and you're going to go from Las Vegas, Nevada, to Alaska. It
must be easier to fill up a helicopter than it is to fill up a car.
I guess so. Maybe it uses less fuel somehow. I don't know.
Well, I don't think it'll use less fuel because you've probably got 10 people in the fucking thing now.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing, Tom. Like, they packed the shit out of that thing. That is filled to the brim. That is over capacity. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, let's go ahead and have ourselves a little looky-loo here. All right, I'm going to go to maps.google.com, and we're going to see how far from Las Vegas, Nevada. Actually, I don't know why I'm doing it this way. We could do it this way. I'm going to use this computer because this computer is better. We're going to figure out what at least the flying distance is between those two places. So let's go to Las Vegas, Nevada. There we are. We're going to get directions. And we're gonna flip it, and then you're gonna go to Alaska. That's just
just Alaska.
Just because I don't know anywhere else in Alaska, so that's about as much as I could do. Let's say you're gonna fly. Okay, let's fly. Due to COVID, it's not gonna give me any stats. All right, let's just go for driving then. Let's just go driving. All right. It would take you 54 hours to drive there. All right, and that is a collection of 3,345 miles. Okay? Flying that, even if you do a straight line, that is still probably 2,000 fucking miles. All right? Not in kilometers. I'm doing miles for our American friends. But I will just do that for us Canadians now. 3,000 miles in kilometers. That's 4,800 kilometers. Okay? That is No one is driving that. No one is flying that on one take of fucking gas. Okay? Flying probably takes, my guess, at least 20 hours if it takes 54 hours to drive there. Fuck off. Just fuck off, movie. Fuck off. Don't feed me this bullshit. But nonetheless, they are flying. They're going to make it somehow. Alice goes down, gets acquainted with the White Queen. She then also says, like, I'm not bad like the red one. I just want this thing dead. And Alice's like, sure, let's go ahead and team up. Do you have an armory? Nah, bitch, just use your handguns, your 2 swords, just right over there. Go through that door. Just go. I'm not giving you my weapons. Just get out of here. Shoot. I guarantee you this place has an armory filled with weapons that could take this guy down. No, let's just go with handgun and 2 swords. Let's go.
They didn't have time to put that in the film. It wasn't worth it. We're gonna do it with knives anyway.
Yeah,
fuck it.
Yeah. God. So Alice goes in. She then sees a bubble Alice of herself in that thing, and then I think it's at the same time where she starts fighting she starts fighting Tian. Tian is like slapping around a little bit, and gets a little bit fucked up at one point. And while they're fighting, they bump into water bubble Alice, clone Alice, who she then bursts out and goes like, and then dies. And it's your obligatory in contract Mila Jovovich nude scene, I guess.
Yeah, it has to be one every movie.
Yeah, it has to have one in every movie. And so it's at this point where Mila just takes her jacket, puts it on her, and then she goes to continue to fight fucking Tian, where she is now walking through the old mansion scene, which is like kind of fucked up for her. They do this fun little play of when she looks at the portrait again. And instead of having something run across like last time, it's just Tian's right there, and he's about to like bitch slap her, and she starts slashing at stuff, and he's like, "Oh, I am the next evolutionary step in all of this. I am invincible. You can't hurt me. I'm Boris. Aha! I am invincible." All that shit, and then he goes to use his fucking little tentacle things on her after she cut him off, and she then uses her psychic abilities again. Very convenient that she's able to do it here, and fucking pushes him back with her abilities, sends him flying, and it was a moment of, okay, everything's nice and calm now. It then comes back where he gets up and he's like, oh, bitch, I can do that too, but not with real psychic abilities. I'm just going to scream at you, and I'm going to create a sound wave that'll burst you through the next level. You ready for this? What is it, the fucking Rastafa, or what the fuck it is from Skyrim?
Oh,
that Skyrim scream?
Fusroda.
Yeah. Fusroda! It just blasts fucking Alice across like she's a goddamn dragon.
Into a stage transition.
Oh my god, dude.
Call back to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, right. New stage transition. Boom, gets knocked into the laser grid room. And the dude comes up to you, he's like, oh, what do you think you're gonna do? You're gonna stab me? I'm just gonna heal. I'm invincible. I am immortal. I am the next evolutionary step in this whole thing. I am the future of this, of the world. And Alice has a one-liner that I don't even like. And it's okay. She's like, you're not the future. You're just another asshole. And we're both going to die here. Why? Oh, they're in the laser room. What happens in the laser room? You get that music in, and the da-da, 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 da-da-da-da-da-da. The grid opens up, goes through, slices up the dude, just about to hit Alice, and it stops. Why does it stop? Because other Alice, who was as dumb as a baby when she first came out, is now a computer genius, and stops the laser from cutting her up. And the movie, it stops with you see the guy falling apart on the camera again, just like you did in the original movie. And it cuts to black. And then it kind of focuses back in, where you now see Alice looking on the right-hand side. Other Alice is on the left. They're like, oh shit, hey Alice. Oh, what's up, Alice? And then we go to Japan, in Tokyo, Japan, where the zombies are taking over that place, and I would say at this point, because I would say Raccoon City, but there's an umbrella facility there, and I want to say it's at this point where I'm like, if anyone would be safe, it would have been Japan or like Australia, like island continent countries who are so far away from everyone, or Hawaii. You know what I mean? The chance of anything reaching them would be so minimal, especially if the ocean's dried up and there's no modes of transportation anymore. Like.
But at the same time, it's also very tightly packed. So you get one little problem come in, you're fucked.
Yeah. Anyways, we get to the streets of Tokyo, Japan, where all the zombies are walking around and it's infested with rats, and you get this scene, right, where they're trying to like do these like cool transitions of like above ground, underground, and the way that they do it is they try to cut as if you could see through like the cement, the concrete while you're going underground. I noticed this and I told Tracy about it, and she hates the fact that I told her. But there's when they do that scene, a rat walks up and actually peeks over the edge.
I didn't notice.
And like it looks down, I'm like, that's not supposed to be like that at all. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, that is supposed to be just a clean transition, not an actual border where the rat could stick its head over and take a look. So she saw that, she's like, I can't unsee it, and I'm like, yeah, right. Go down. We have the meeting where like, the food capacity here is at 28. The food capacity here is at 50, and we have this many fatalities and this many fatalities. Oh my God, don't worry. Me as Wesker chairman, we're gonna save the world. And then from a Sony Vaio laptop, a 3D projection of Alice appears. She's like, yeah, sorry to ruin your party, boys, but I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna hurt you, and then leaves. And then I haven't talked about this, but the other big advertisement in this whole fucking thing is Sony Vaio laptops. It's all over the lab and shit. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm sorry, 2007 camera can't holo project. A 2007 webcam camera from a Sony Vaio laptop cannot 3D project Alice in full body to everyone. What are you on about? Stop this nonsense. Stop it.
You didn't get the umbrella package.
For fuck's sakes.
They have holograms and everything on it.
Yeah. So after that mean message is displayed, Alice walks up to other Alice, and we get treated to yet another terrible CG scene where it didn't need to be CG. And this is me explaining what's going to happen. So what ends up happening is they start zooming out, and you see a war, like just literal thousands of Alice clones waking up and being, set up to fight and whatnot. And it starts off with both Alices, the one that's awake right now and the clone Alice, next to each other when the camera zooms out. And the reason I hate this, and I told this to Tracy, is because the background is green screened. Because they didn't do the idea of, well, we're gonna take this one shot. We're just gonna have this what's called a clean plate. Okay, a clean plate is just the environment of without anyone in it, and you're gonna record that for, we'll say, for like, in their case, we'll just say safety. For safety's sake, they're recorded for 5 minutes. And then what you would do, you would have Mila walking on the right hand side, look to no one on the left, or have someone there, like an actor or whoever, it doesn't matter, a stand-in on the left for them to look at, about the same height as Alice, and then they would do the mechanical zoom with a camera, or mechanical pan out with a camera, because you can do that with the technology nowadays, and then you would repeat the shot again. You would repeat the shot, but this time Alice is on the left, and then you'd have stand-in on this side, and then they do the zoom out. And then what you do is you cut out. That's all you have to do. You just have to crop out the other half, because these two aren't interacting with each other. So it's not like they're grabbing something from the other side. You just have those two do that. You literally stitch together that scene, and you pan out, and it would look so much better than the janky green screen that I can tell that it's behind them, because the background is too much in focus. It shouldn't be in focus like that, and then it just looks so just janky and moving as they fucking pan out, and I hate it. I hate it. And then there's a couple of thousand Mila Jovovich titty shots in there, and the movie fucking ends. Thank
fuck
Christ. Tom, if you were to recommend this movie for someone, would you say that they should rent it, buy it, or just straight up pass?
Pass.
If you were to rate this film on a scale of 1 to 10, remember we gave Apocalypse what, a 3.5 or a 3 last week?
Mm-hmm.
What would you give Extinction?
I'm gonna say 4. It was slightly better than Apocalypse, but it's all garbage.
The fact that I fell asleep and I had to stop this movie, I have to give it lower than Apocalypse. At least Apocalypse kept me being like, what is this shit? This is so stupid. What the fuck's going on? Versus this film, which was like, oh, it's another desert scene. Like, I was out. And I didn't take anything, and I was out. That was all natural. I would honestly give this a 2. It's a 2. Like, it's so, like, you could take this one film out completely, and it wouldn't affect the franchise at all. It wouldn't make a difference.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
you could just take that 5-minute explanation of how the world ended, like they did here, and put it in the next one. And it wouldn't make a single fucking difference. It's this movie is just, it's so bad. And I cannot say no enough to this film. And we thankfully, in a sense, we'll be taking a break for next week. It is Tom's father's birthday on the weekend, so he's going to be spending time with the family. So happy birthday, Papa Vogel. I hope you guys have a good time with that. But after that, we are back in it. Unless there's a new movie that comes out that we really want to review, we're going to be coming back to what I believe is Resident Evil. Is it Afterlife? I believe is the next one.
I think it is.
Yeah, let's double check. Resident Evil movie series. And we are looking at after Extinction. It is Afterlife. And then from there, we will still have Retribution and the final chapter. We still have 3 more movies after this.
Why do we fucking do this?
There's a potential green light at the end of a potential light at the end of the tunnel, a proverbial light, because there's another one that's coming out that is Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, which I don't know if it has anything to do with any of the older ones. So let's hope, right? Let's hope.
Yeah.
So for now,
then we'll review another one.
Yeah. So for now, I've been me. That's Tom. We need to take a break, and we will do that. Thank you for joining everyone for joining us. I need to go work on life, my decisions that I've made as to what led me here, and at the same time help my wife pack for her trip to Sudbury. So for now, thank you everyone for joining. I love y'all, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.